However, I
No,
feel...
you know what? I lived with him. I spent my entire life with him. I fed him, I talked to him, I tried to listen when he talked. I talked to people who weren't there. I watched him shuffling around like a ghost. A really smelly ghost because he was filthy, so I had to make sure he bathed my own dad. After my mom died, it was just me here. And I tried to make him happy no matter what idiotic project he was working on. He used to read all day, and he kept demanding more and more books. So I went out, and I went out to the library, and I emptied it out by the carload, even though we had hundreds upstairs. But then I realized he wasn't reading. He believed aliens were sending him messages through the Dewey Decimal numbers on the library books. He was trying to work out a code. And guess what? It was beautiful mathematics. Of course it was. It was the most elegant proofs. It was perfect proofs. Proofs like music plus fashion tips and knock-knock jokes. It's fucking crazy, okay? And then later, the writing phase. Scribbling 20 hours a day. So I got him a caseload of notebooks and he filled out every single one. I dropped out of school. Dropped out of school. I'm glad he's dead, you know? I'm sorry. Sorry. No. I loved him. I did. I loved him. It's just... God, when I woke up this morning, I thought, great. Today is the day that I get to go out and feel the sunlight, and there would be nothing but silence because he'd talk non-stop. I'd go out and I'd get the paper or go for a walk and he'd be talking, and I'd come back and he'd still be talking, and sometimes I didn't even know if he was talking to me because he'd be going on about fictional characters or ideas or stories, or he'd recite random entire books verbatim. And then he'd stop eating. And he couldn't sleep, or he'd sleep all day, and he'd accuse me of reading his mail or poisoning his food. And after all of that, he'd come back. And he'd be okay again, and he'd be lucid, and he'd be funny even, for a week or so, and everything would feel normal. And I'd think, great, this is it, he's back. And then, before I could even grab it, he'd be gone again. And I'd sit there, trying to remember what the real him even felt like. So yeah, I am a lot like my dad. But I'm afraid I might be crazy too.